It is April 14th, and it's been a while since I made a video, so after I update you through the account, I'm going to talk about my position in EBIX and what I'm going to be expecting from those outcomes. If you want to skip to that part and skip the account review, you can just fast forward to where you see a big image of me, just like this. But for now, let's take a look into the account. I'm sitting at wait a minute, a black screen. There we go. I'm sitting at 426 at the moment, which is an all-time closing high. Finally, I'm able to reach an all-time high. The main reason being why it took me so long to get there is because I have been dragged down by Apple's inability to lead the market. But now it's finally picking up, and there's going to be an interesting event of some sorts, apparently. A surprise event on the 20th. And so I'm looking forward to that. I might sell one of my 2 call options that I have left right before the event. I'm not sure about that. I'm still debating whether I should keep through the event or sell. So running through the account, of course, these are the option plays first. You will see the ticker, then the price, strike price of the option, whether it's a put or a call, the expiration date of the option number contracts, and whether it's a sell or a buy. You're going to see a lot of EBIX here. Lots. Do not be alarmed. Actually, maybe you should be alarmed. It's a very large play. It could pay off a lot. It could pay off very little. Or I could lose a lot. I mean, I'm putting my odds at winning at about 60% right now. But let's save that for the topic of the day, eh? So I'm going to run quickly through the account. You can pause this video at any moment to try to figure out the exact positions of my account. Over here, you'll find all relevant information. You can see the number. The green or red just represents a change in liability in the day. You see the Apple calls are flying today. Here is the actual equity portion of the account. I have 820 shares of EBIX, which I do not plan on selling necessarily after the 20th. And then I have Apple, $1,500 gain today. Everything else is fairly muted. Some interesting movement in the precious metals. They're trying to decide whether they want to go up or down. So I'm kind of following that as well. The uranium market is at a bit of a stall. So is the oil market. Although it went up, I think the miner or the equities, at least the ones that I own, are not necessarily following. I just own some midstream LPs. So, and then Alibaba was nearly flat. I had a nice 10% gain in Alibaba. I had been losing on the position up until that gain. I'm looking for more gains from Alibaba in the next year or 2. I'm thinking of holding it for maybe at least that long. And then this is a new position that I've opened up. It's a very interesting financial company based in Cyprus, I believe, but I think it's a Russian company. It just deals with cash. I might talk about it, maybe not, but it had some really good numbers, so I thought I would buy a little bit. And then I actually have 2 calls of Baidu there. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm betting that in the next couple of months it's going to have a bit of a rise. So I'm actually buying a lot more options than I normally am. I have actually bought quite a few, especially on the EBIX side. So that concludes the account talk. And so now I'm going to be going into the EBIX explanation of what's going on here. So maybe I should actually show it to you first here. Excuse me 1 second. Here it is. I own 820 shares of EBIX. And then I have 29 contracts, option contracts. So let me go through them mostly and explain what is going on. So far I'm losing mildly, relatively speaking, but I've basically sold a ton of puts at around the $25 level to $30 level. So I'm trying to accumulate even more shares and make this a really big play. If it stays below $30, I'll be accumulating more shares. And then I've actually bought calls for the May 21st expiration date. I bought some $40 calls, I bought some $30 calls, and right here, 2 buys, and I've bought a ton, 14 $50 calls, just in the off chance that EBIX skyrockets and doubles in value after the 4/20 interesting date announcement of their reporting. Right, they got a new. They have a new auditor, and so I'm very interested to see what their findings are and how they report their income and what their numbers actually look like. I have a feeling that, I think, my opinion is that after the earnings reports are out, a lot of the worries about the accuracy of their financial reporting is going to go away. And just lifting that burden, lifting that worry off of the market, I think will allow for this pinned up beach ball below the water to swim up with quite a bit of force. And that spring is going to just uncoil, I believe. And so that will be my payday for taking on such big risks. And the reason that they're big risk is because it's a ton of money, first of all. And second of all, it could go wrong. It could be found that the company is unaccounted for. More deadlines are missed. There could be low-level potential threat. I doubt that up at the top there's any kind of fraud, but there could be low-level potential fraud, and there could also be all kinds of bad things that could go on in this company. But I'm taking that risk. I don't believe personally that the hype is real about these non-existent allegations, and so I'm taking in the information at face value and actually believing the reporting and the leadership and management of EBIX, although they're not the most vocal bunch, that's for sure, and betting on EBIX as a company in the US and also their venture in India, which seems to be getting some positive looks from Indians themselves. The American investor does not seem very enthused about these ventures, but the fact is that, from what I hear anyways, the EBIX cash part of the account, out of part of the company, is going to remain, I think 30% or something, is going to remain in EBIX as an interest ownership, and that will benefit the stockholders of EBIX in this way. We as investors are going to have exposure to the EbixCash IPO that's allegedly coming later this year, probably towards the end, or my guess the beginning of next year, or whatever things come down a little bit. I hear that there is a surge in cases in India, and so that might slow things down a bit. We don't know how long that's going to last. Nobody does. Vaccination rates are low in India, so I don't know how that's going to play out and if that's going to stifle their progress there, if progress is being made. Supposedly, all these companies that Robin Reina, who's the CEO of EBIX, is purchasing need time to integrate with each other to make it one holistic system. I don't know how much work is done on that front. I don't know if he's just buying companies and then packaging them up together and just putting together like a fast IPO to try to maximize, the money flow into this IPO, or that people are being diligent in there and trying to create something better than the EbixCash website that I personally looked at, which at least to my understanding and standards of financial company, it looks a bit messy and disorganized. And for me, the design is very important. Okay, so if your face of the company looks a bit messy, it just sends the wrong message perhaps, or the correct message, that things underneath aren't that organized either. So if you look at the Apple website or any kind of a well-known established brand, you'll see things are very organized and very clean, easy to find what you want, or at least pleasant to look at. So I think in that department, the EbixCash website has a bit to go. However, apparently, I don't actually have any first-hand information of this, and I've been doing some research and looking around the internet, and I can't find much. But apparently, EbixCash has gained a lot of ground and a lot of reach into the Indian market when it comes to what they're called touch points with potential consumers about offering them financial services of all sorts. And there's also been a big effort to promote the EbixCash coming IPO. The route that they've chosen, or he's chosen, is promoting EbixCash on the jerseys of local cricket teams, some of the bigger cricket teams. So from what I hear from people of India, that plays out very well, but I don't know how cost effective that is. It seems like I can't personally see the grand plan. I'm not a very good, obviously, businessman, or I've never been a CEO or anything like that. And it's difficult for me, like the path. It looks a bit disorganized and messy from my perspective, but what I do know is that there is a lot of value in some of these businesses that have been purchased, and especially the one that's been existing for quite some time here in the US. Although it has slowed down its revenue generation and profit over the last couple of years, there's been some kind of indication of an effort to pick that side of the business back up. And so I think the future, that it's a worthwhile bet, considering the price to earnings ratio of this company is below 10, and the projected price to earnings ratio is like 7 point something at the moment, with the price sitting just a few pennies below 30. And this, my friends, is why I'm betting so heavily on the company. It's just a pure value play. If something generates a lot of money, I mean, that's all really that I want to hear, mostly. Okay, I don't want the company to be a fraud or to go under or anything like that. Of course, I want to hear about its prospects. But the most important part for a company is that it makes money, okay? That's why people invest. Okay, you invest in things that will generate cash for you. So in that department, the company is doing well. And according to the numbers, they're also sitting on a nice cash pile just in case they need it for paying fines, which they've done before for similar problems with accounting, so they might be fined in some sort. So they do have the cash to pay that off. And I think just like in Alibaba's case, where after the announcement that Alibaba was going to get fined $2.9 billion or something like that, the stock actually went up 10% because there's a relief of this issue going away, right? I think there's going to be a similar reaction from the market when it comes to EBIX. As the accounting issue goes away, I think that the stock is primed to roughly double from here, and I'm betting heavily on that prospect. Hopefully you'll have made more money than me in the past few weeks. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but this will hopefully make up for it a little bit. I wanted to update everyone on what's going on with the account, and also to explain my position of EBIX and why it's taking, a third of my account or something like that, some huge number. So a lot is riding on this. If it doesn't work out for me, it's going to be a bloodbath. And if it does work out, I might throw a little party. Okay. Alright, I think that's it for now. Hopefully I'll make another video soon. Peace out.